Welcome to the Merch Minds podcast, where we discuss everything about the Merch by Amazon business and the print-on-demand industry. Here are your hosts, Glen and Young.
Merch Informer is the #1 research program for Merch by Amazon. You can do niche research by BSRs, keywords, and even by merchant brand names at your fingertips. You can explore historical data to see exactly what strategies the top sellers are using to succeed. Merch Informer was designed to help streamline your research process and help organize your ideas. Head over to merchinformer.com for a free 3-day trial, and after that, it's just $19.99 per month. Use the coupon code MERCHMINDS for 15% off the entire order.
Merch Minds podcast episode number 72. Good, 72. Solid episode with a special guest as usual.
Yes, sir.
I'm Glen, Hustler Hacks. This is Young.
Hello.
And last week I was missing in action, but the podcast went smoothly with our replacement.
Yep. Thank you to Chris, the thrift shop hustler. He filled in and did an admirable job. Did a really good job. In fact, I'm thinking about replacing you permanently with the thrift shop hustler. No, you know what? I could never do that, man.
He took it back immediately. His heart already dropped after that.
Yeah, no, you're definitely my boy, man. I can't. It would not be the Merch Minds podcast without you. But yeah, thank you, Chris, for filling in. You were in what? Kansas City.
Kansas City, yep.
Dude, there's this video of you floating around where you're dressed up like a damn bumblebee, skipping around, giving high five to people. What's that about?
So, Ken the Hustlebee, which I thought was pretty funny, your joke from last week, saying that I replaced one Asian with another with on the show.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it was hilarious. So, I had to do my talk, and it was about Merch by Amazon on that Friday. And then Ken, he was going to do his talk on Saturday. And so I was telling him, I was like, man, we got to do something a little bit different, because some people are just going up doing regular talks without slides, some with slides. And I was like, we got to get people hyped up. So, I put on the bee costume and, went around high-fiving people. So got him, I was just like the hype man out there.
Okay. So if I ever need a hype man, you're the man to call?
Yes, sir. You want me to be a hype man? I'll be a hype man.
All right, nice, man. Okay.
What's the young mascot? What's the young mascot?
Butt ass naked. Yeah, you got to be butt naked to be my hype man.
Can I at least wear like a leaf or something on the front?
Oh, you filthy bastard! Yes, yeah, you can wear a leaf.
Okay.
Well, cool, man. Yeah, no, that was cool, man. It looked like it was a lot of fun. Dude, I am freaking tired right now. This time change thing, man, it just screws me up, man.
It's like, man, usually because me and the wife, we try to work out and stuff, and then she comes home, it's usually like kind of dark by now. Now it's like all early sunlight, and I'm like, what time is it? And it just threw everything off. I'm like super tired in the mornings now.
Dude, it's stupid, man. I didn't sleep a wink last night, and I know it's just an hour, but it really does change a lot of things within your daily schedule. It just screws everything up. But yeah, man, I think we're like the only country that does this. Maybe I'm wrong. This is, maybe we should ask our guests this, but yeah, man, it just screws everything up, and it's going to take me at least a couple of weeks to try and get adjusted.
You can live in Phoenix. They don't even have a time change.
Get out of it. Of course they do.
No, they don't. It's one solid time.
That's BS.
You wanna bet merch numbers or something?
Hey, you talking the big game right now, man? What the hell? You barely making $100 a week right now. Your suspension.
I'm climbing back up.
What am I gonna do with $100, huh?
I'm climbing back up.
Look, let's talk numbers, man. I ain't trying to freaking take your money, man. Let's go over our numbers. Okay, so I know we have a lot of new listeners tuning in every week. So I'm at the 2,000 tier. I have 1,436 shirts live. The last 7 days, I sold 197 shirts. Product purchases, $4,201.03. My estimated royalties, $964.07. Dropped pretty significantly since last week, and that's because a lot of my St. Patty's Day shirt has been selling. Up until yesterday, sales have dropped because we're 3 days away from St. Patty's Day. Today is Wednesday. My numbers have dropped significantly, and I knew this was going to happen, man. I knew this was going to happen. I predicted it. Youngster Damas predicted this, man.
Of course they did. And yesterday was a pretty crappy day on merch in general.
Oh, it was
only sold maybe like 10 or 12 shirts.
It was
pretty bad. But the day before that was actually pretty good. I think I sold like 40 or something, but then it just completely dropped the next day. Today is another average day. It's not really that great.
Okay.
What for you today,
Today, I think I sold 10, but like you, a couple of days ago, I sold like 38 shirts. It was really good. It's the St. Patty's Day, man. It's St. Patty's Day shirts. I was selling a lot of St. Patty's Day shirts, but first of all, what are your numbers, man?
Oh, okay. So I have 2,551 products live. 8,000 tier products sold. I'm at 161, and product purchases $2,930.51. Estimated royalties $618.23.
Okay, not bad.
I was I finished the other night with like 700 and something range, and I was like, all right, cool, we're starting to get back up there again. And then with that bad day, they went back down again. So really trying to find that consistency. But what really helped are these young prices at $19.99. Those are helping my prices, or at least my royalties go up. Yeah, boy, that's what I like.
That's what I like to hear. Okay.
Yeah, $19.99. So we're getting that full $5.38 instead of with this, $16, $17, $18 stuff.
How about your premium t-shirts? What are you pricing those at?
I have actually the last one that I did, I haven't done any premiums. I actually just did black and white. Black, white with the other colored ones, but only the regular standard ones. So I only have 2 different variations for standard. I haven't really done any premiums lately.
Oh, son, what are you doing, dude? You're working on that, man.
I know. I need to get back on that.
Okay, if you were to have premiums, what would you price those at?
Man, I gotta go back. I think I made like $21.95, $22.95, I think.
Okay.
When I had them originally, because I know I had them more than the other ones, but I gotta go back. But what kind of threw me off though was like this new homepage, because immediately when I do it, the first thing that my eye really looks at is like that thumbs down by that red shirt. Have you seen it? It's like that new content policy banner. So when you log in, it shows like introducing a new video about our content policy.
Oh yeah.
There's like a big thumbs down in the middle, and then my eyes immediately go to that. So I don't know, it just kind of like threw me off, and I was like, oh, like a new banner. You guys talked about the new banner last week, but I wasn't here, so.
Yeah. No, that thing, that video was. Hey, was section 2.6? I thought that was always there. Is that? They're saying it's new.
Promotion of violence. No, I think they added that.
Okay, so I'm tripping, but yeah. So it sounds like you're definitely working on your account. Numbers have declined for both of us. We were definitely expecting that, dude. What is going on with our newly uploaded designs? For me, they're not selling. Everything that I'm selling is all designs that I uploaded like 6 months ago and beyond.
It's kind of interesting. I mean, I got super late because of the suspension thing into the St. Patrick's Day stuff, so I was uploading some early last week, and some of those have sold. But
but that's St. Patty's Day, right? But I mean, like everything other than St. Patty's Day shirts, like designs that you recently uploaded, are they selling?
Let me check today. Not that I know of. None of these are that new.
I'm not selling any. And then someone mentioned in the group, they were saying that on mobile, that the newly uploaded designs, the sizes are not showing up. So basically, it's showing male T-shirts, out of stock, female out of stock, kids out of stock. But I went and checked my listings for my shirts. The sizes are there. They're showing up on mobile, but for some reason, they're not selling.
That's kind of weird.
So apparently there's, I don't know. I think there's some kind of throttling still going on. Who knows? But I did. You know what? I take that back. I did sell a couple of shirts.
Oh, look at this guy. He's lying.
But again, it's taking forever for them to sell, and it's never been like this before. So it's I don't know. There's something going on here.
I was gonna say it must be those designs.
Hey, you know what? You just said yourself your designs aren't selling either. Okay, so you shut your damn pie hole. Hey, man.
You threw him off. You threw Young off.
You threw me off. Hey, let's talk about your editing skills. Okay.
For what?
I gotten a lot of complaints last week about last week's episode. They're saying 20 minutes into the podcast, it just cuts off. What happened?
That was 2 weeks ago. That was before the one with Chris. And both of them ran smoothly on my channel, so it must have been something with Libsyn.
I don't know. I was like, hey, Glen's the edit man.
Hey.
He's a hype man and the edit man. There's something going on.
Yeah, there we go. Didn't you have there was some main topic you wanted to talk about before also? I'm trying to remember what it was.
What, this week?
Yeah, we had some other stuff that you had to get into.
We'll get into it. We'll get into it.
Okay.
Why are you trying to change the topic?
Sorry, I'm trying
about your editing skills, huh?
Editing skills have been on point.
I'm just saying, some people complained about your editing skills last week.
Yeah, people say a lot of things.
Okay. So today's Wednesday. We normally record on Friday, but I'm actually leaving town tomorrow for a wedding. So we have to do it today.
You better be talking to the ladies while you're out there, because I know you get a little shy. So
yeah, I get real shy. I don't talk. At all. Dude,
hiding in the corner.
Dude, I told you this, man. My true story, okay? My last girlfriend I met at a wedding.
Oh, there we go. So when you come back, this is going to be good. Good stories.
Yeah. When I come back, I might be married myself. Okay? Let's see. So, hey, did you hear about this? And this is completely. This is not even related to merch. Did you hear about this teacher in Northern California who accidentally shot a couple of his students? Mm-mm. It's all over the news. It's trending right now on Facebook.
No, it's like a prank or what? Prank gone wrong or what? Training gone wrong?
No, it's not a prank, man. A instructor, a teacher at a high school, who also happens to be a cop. I guess
like a training gone wrong.
Yeah, I guess he had a gun in class. Okay. He was teaching his students the safety of guns or gun control. And obviously, this isn't something that we should joke about or laugh about. Obviously, with everything that's been going on. But it's trending right now. It's all over Facebook. It's all over CNN. Well, after recording this, you should go check it out. Anyway, the reason I bring this up is, dude, that's my old high school.
Old high school.
Yeah, man, that's the high school that I went to.
Oh, so here we go. I think here it is here. Seaside, California.
Yeah. Seaside
High School is where it was.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so it was a training accident.
Yeah, so that's crazy though, man. And it's just kind of ironic because today it just happens all across the country. For the most part, a lot of students have walked out of their high school, to protests about gun control. But yeah, man, I went to that high school, man. Is that crazy or what?
That's crazy. So I guess the cool part is if we go to that high school, we can see the plaque of Young on there and see
Dude, you might see a plaque of me in the bathroom somewhere.
But I have like a bunch of hair, bunch of acne.
Oh heck yeah!
Little kid.
Okay, you know what? I'm gonna change the topic, man. You're getting kind of crazy there.
But I think. Well, actually, kind of leading to the merch part though is that because you just talked about. Well, I mean, this unfortunate thing that happened, but 2.6 was promotion of violence. You asked if that was there or not. It wasn't there because it was the human tragedy part. Now this is completely different. This is promotion of violence. So promotes violence or incite violence through cruelty, death, or torture. So this one is similar to human tragedy policy, but it's slightly different because this is encouraging mass murder and suicide. So it is slightly different. They just added that in.
Okay. I just wasn't sure. I had thought that was always there. I wasn't sure. Stephen Hawking passed away last night. And sure enough, a bunch of buffoons are making shirts and uploading them on merch. You guys will be banned. I hope you guys get banned. I hope your accounts get terminated. You guys are scumbags. If you're making those shirts, you deserve your account to be suspended. Have you seen that, man?
Yeah, I saw them. I'm kind of surprised they're still doing them. I mean, as soon as like a somebody passes away, they're like right on top of him. Like, why?
It's stupid, man. It's just it's disrespectful, man. Let's see. Southern California meetup. I told you about this, right? April, I'm trying to remember the date. April 7th, they're having a Southern California meetup. That's a Saturday. Shout out to Debbie Harvey again, a good friend of the podcast. She's organizing it. I'm flying down. There's going to be a bunch of other merch members. Of course, Debbie's going to be there. Matt and Aaron Shireen, I think I pronounced her name right. They're going to be there. RJ is going to be there. And I invited you last night, I think, a couple of days ago. You going to make it?
I was looking at flights. I actually got to double check. I got to look at the flights.
Okay. We'll get back to us. Get back to us. Let us know. Chris Green is coming out with a course. He did a video last night on Facebook Live video. He dropped a pretty heavy hint within the video, man. Something about maybe going international merch, possibly. There you go. Little hints. So if there's anyone that knows, again, we don't know for sure. I'm just saying, if there's anyone that does know, it would definitely be Chris. So that would definitely be exciting. Other than that, man, you have anything else?
No, I think we're pretty good.
Okay. Well, then let's get into today's episode. We met this guy back in September. Was it September?
Yeah, I think so. Seattle.
It was September of last year in Seattle when Chris and Ken Wheel had their conference up in Seattle. We had the privilege to meet Michael Essek. He's one of the OGs, man. Like when merch first started, his name was the one that was floating around within the community of someone who was making significant money. He's been kind of quiet lately, but we were able to track him down. He's on the show. We're gonna talk to him. He's a really good guy, man.
Yeah, super cool guy.
So let's get into the interview. All right, guys, we have a very special guest as always. Special indeed, because this guy is coming all the way from the UK. You probably heard his name, Mr. Michael Essek. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much, Jon. Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
Yeah, no, we're long overdue. I know we met back in September in Seattle, and yeah, it was a pleasure to meet you, and we had an opportunity to talk. And I was like, hey man, we got to get you on the show. So, and in case for the listeners, if you don't know who Michael Essek is, when merch first started, when merch was essentially a baby, like your name was kind of well known in the community as one of the guys who found success early in the early days. So yeah, so Michael's been around for some time. Michael, so we normally ask all our guests, and you don't have to share, but we know on the show we're all about being transparent. What tier are you on? How many shirts live do you have? What are your royalties like? If you don't mind sharing, and if you don't want to share, that's fine.
No, it's fine. Yeah. So right now we are on the 16,000 tier.
Jesus.
So now I'm going to tell you my royalties, and they don't reflect the tier we're on, because we've just smashed a load of uploads up in the past few months. So it's really just been a crazy time here for us. But my royalties right now, we're doing about 9,000 a month through merch, and most of that is obviously from shirts that have been up for the past couple of years or whatever. So it's not, those recent ones are not selling yet. But yeah, like the floor for us is about 9,000. We did 30. We did like, I think it was 22,000 or something in December. But overall, we did like 30,000 because I also have other websites I sell on, other BODs and Etsy and everything like that. So as a whole, we did about 30,000 in December. So we have a floor in our business of about 12,000, 13,000, something like that a month. Seems to be how we're doing. So yeah, 16,000 tier. Hopefully we should be at the 18,000, I guess, anytime now. So
no, those are solid numbers, man. I mean, I didn't even know a 16,000 tier even existed. so you're like on a whole nother level, man. That's awesome.
Well, it's like anything, right? You get there and then you're like, oh, you find there's someone who's doing 10 times as much as you, and it's always the way. So it's always onwards and upwards.
Yeah. I just, for me personally, I just find satisfaction as long as I can beat Glen, I'm happy. Even if my royalties is like $5 for the month, as long as I beat Glen, I'm cool.
I was just thinking today about for some people, merch is just a bit of fun, right? It's just some people don't. The money's not important. It's just the fun of the game. It's creating something, having people buy it. Being first or getting there in a niche or so. It's all that kind of stuff, and that's what's cool about merch and about all these organic platforms, whether it's YouTube or whatever. People who like doing something can put something out there, and it doesn't have to always be about the income and the money and all that kind of stuff and the royalties or whatever. So it's cool. That's what makes it a fun platform to be on. Really.
Yeah, absolutely. But Glenn, did you have any questions?
So how many designs do you have live right now? You're at the 16,000 tier, and when you say we, what does we mean as far as like the team goes?
So the team right now is me, my sister, and just recently her husband are now doing basically the whole management of the account, so the upload process. I've almost kind of offloaded the whole listing process, so in terms of like writing keywords and stuff, I've almost kind of stopped doing most of that myself, and I have like 2 or 3 designers that I use now. So I'm basically the guy managing the parts and kind of directing things. In terms of designs, we've got I think about 13,000 live right now, and obviously a lot of those have been like designs that are now up on all 5 products and stuff like that. But honestly, like half of those 13,000 have been uploaded in the last 3 months or something. So we've just been hitting it crazy. I think we get 500 uploads a day right now, and probably a couple of days a week we're hitting that. So we're just uploading like crazy. So it's it's pretty wild. It's been a bit
those are some really impressive numbers. Oh my gosh! I mean, so 13,000 shirts live. You're on the 16,000 tier. So correct me if I'm wrong. Now you do have a design background, correct?
Yes. Yeah. I was a graphic designer for kind of about 6 years. I worked a job, full-time job doing that, and did freelance illustration for a year or two before I kind of got into merch and dropped all that to kind of pursue the t-shirt thing.
Okay, well, that's cool. So everything that we talk about on the podcast, I'm sure you can relate then when we talk about the fonts and all that, so that's cool, man. So I'm assuming that you did most of the designs initially, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Like for the first 2 years of merch or whatever, I was just in my office, waking up, trying to find ideas, sitting down and drawing things and working through them. Excuse me. Day after day, did that for like a year and a half, 2 years, and then I think at the start of 2017, last year, I just decided if I wanted to grow this thing and really, get it to a stable position, then I can't be the one just doing every design. So I reached out and found some designers. One designer who I'd worked with for a couple of years anyway, and really kind of formalized the whole process and got them working with me. So yeah, it was necessary to grow the business really.
Yeah, no, I can definitely relate because Glen and I were talking about this a few weeks ago, and I was just getting frustrated to the point where because we're both a one-man operation, I found it really hard to scale because, I've been doing this for close to 2 years now, and people that's been doing it for 6 months now, they're like on a higher tier than I am. Right? And they're making more money than I am, so I just got frustrated. I was like, Glenn, I need to outsource some of my designs, and I just recently signed up for a design agency, and a couple of weeks into it, and I'm pretty impressed. I'm able to upload a lot more designs now. But let me ask you. So you're obviously you have family members now that's helping. Are you paying them or are they partners?
Yeah. No, I'm paying them. A salary, monthly salary. And they're doing a set number of hours and stuff. So, it is a family business. So it is my sister and it's her husband and stuff. So part of that is that obviously I don't really want to be employing, someone overseas or whatever with the Merch by Amazon account because there's no security there and anything.
Sure. And we'll talk about that, man. We will talk about that.
Being a problem for some people, but so they're employees right now, and hopefully the plan is and the goal is really this year to really grow our business to such a point that we've got a real stable business that the family can kind of rely upon and work in, and we can all grow it together. So it's a family affair, and I'd like to keep it that way. And grow it that way, and we'll see what happens this year.
That's cool. That's cool that you're keeping it in the family. See, I personally can't hire my brother because he's a lazy bum. Okay, he'll probably get me suspended at some point. But I'm curious because now I don't know. I think you listened to the podcast. Have you heard about Glen getting suspended?
Yes, yeah. I follow all the drama, man.
And this is what freaks me out because Glen is 100% convinced it has nothing to do with his designs. Like he thinks it has something to do with his IP address, and obviously he was managing the other account for his buddy.
Yeah.
I personally think that he did something shady. I think he made some. I think he made some dilly shirts. But he claims.
You can see this guy's not he's not a shifty fella. He's not got anything.
I don't know. He looks innocent, but I don't know. But he claims that it's an IP address issue.
Yeah.
Does that concern you? So where's your sister logging in from? Where's her husband logging in from?
Yeah, it's a good point, because I like to get out I'm just working my home here in my office, so I like to get out and go and work, from a cafe or whatever. And I do like to, log into the merch account and kind of stuff. And it's at the back of my mind, okay, this is a weird IP address or whatever. But it's not outside of the country. It's always going to be in a location. So I don't know what, the thing is, I don't think merch are actively scanning IP addresses or anything like that and looking for suspicious activity. I think something's got to tip them off in the first place. There's got to be something that, draws their attention. And I'm not saying that that's what happened with Glen, who knows what happened there, but I do think that there must be something that they are looking at, whether it's designs or, I don't know, some kind of change in financials or some, I don't know, that actually then gets them digging into stuff, and then maybe they go looking at the IP addresses, and then maybe they suspend someone for that. I don't know.
Okay, Glenn, damn it. I want you to come clean, dude. What the hell did you do there?
Come clean. What did you do? Good thing this is on my channel, so I can just edit this out.
See, the truth comes out. See, he did something shady. Now he's talking about editing the podcast. None of that, man.
What did you do? My partner from the podcast, getting a new partner in here.
What did you do? Come on, come clean.
And we talked about, like, well, here's the thing, though, is that you mentioned something good, though, is that, don't put your eggs in one basket. You've talked about this before. That's why you have all 4 other platforms that you use and you sell on other than merch. So how much money do you make from those other 4, and then you make the 9,000 plus on merch?
So I think we did, look, I said, what was it, like 12K to 15K a month in total is kind of our floor, something like that. So about 9K of that is merch, so what does that leave, like between 5 and 6K or something? So Redbubble would be kind of probably the next biggest one. That's probably like $2,000 a month.
Wow.
Currently. TeePublic was like really running close to Redbubble, and just recently in the past few months it's really dropped off now. It's about half that, so that's maybe 1,000. We do a couple of thousand on Etsy usually in a standard month. Obviously that's Etsy profit, that's what's left over after we've
after fees and all that.
Yeah. And then the rest is made up from a lot of little players. So I sell on Design by Humans, Society 6. Occasionally I get designs on sites like T-Fury and stuff where they do the one-day sales. I have a handful of designs on Busted Tees and a few others like that. Rajon has become pretty decent in the past few months. I only started uploading there a couple of months ago. So it's basically a collection of a lot of little bits that come together and make maybe 1,000 a month or something to just add that final bit out.
So so it sounds like obviously no wonder you're putting up some significant numbers. It sounds like you got your designs all over the place.
Everything everywhere. Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. So now do you guys? It sounds like you guys are putting some significant hours into this, right?
Yeah. It's basically a full-time job between my sister and her husband. They're doing it full-time.
Wow.
So that's like uploading, managing Etsy, so any customer service stuff.
Mm. Now, are you cross-posting everything, like all your designs, like
not everything. So usually we have everything would go on Amazon, and then from that only certain stuff will go on Etsy. From that only certain stuff will go on other sites.
And that makes sense because it all depends on the demographics, right?
Yeah, exactly. Amazon is the place where you can get designs, really reach almost anyone on Amazon. You should be able to. If you can't sell it on Amazon, you're not going to sell it anywhere else usually, unless you're going to drive traffic or whatever. Of course, that's a different kettle of fish. But so yeah, everything goes on Amazon. Then we take some stuff and put it on Etsy. Then we take relevant stuff and put it on Redbubble. And then we take the best of the best and what we really like, or certain demographic stuff, and then we have a Shopify store as well that we kind of do, and an Instagram account and all that stuff, which we're just trying to kind of ramp up again now. So that was doing great guns last year. We kind of let that slip, and now we're getting back on top of that. So it's basically a process of Amazon gets everything. Let's do loads of stuff for Amazon, and then let's kind of like filter, and then there's certain designs that we take, and then we can drive traffic to stuff that we really believe in and that we can really license to certain platforms or whatever.
And that was probably going to be my next question are most of these sales organic, or are you running ads on all platforms?
So the kind of, obviously Amazon, we're not doing any ads on Amazon or any of the other platforms really. We did do like Etsy sponsored ads for some time last year, but we turned all those off recently. Let me think. So the only thing we do in terms of promotion is basically this Shopify store, which is our own brand store, where we do Instagram sponsored posts, we do that kind of stuff, and we do a degree of Facebook ads. It's nothing huge, it's nothing humongous. I mean, even at its height last year, we were only spending maybe a couple of thousand a month on the ads. But because of that and because of the reach of that we were getting, it was kind of trickling down. And so it was contributing to the organic because people were seeing things and going and searching. So just yesterday, actually, we had a design that went, well, it didn't go viral, but it got a bit of traction on Reddit yesterday. I think it didn't get to the front page or anything crazy like that, but it got a bit of traction in one of the main subreddits. And off the back of that, we sold like 50 or something on Amazon yesterday, which was all organic. So, people saw it on Reddit and they went over to Amazon and they searched for it and they found it, or they searched Google and, landed on Amazon or whatever. So we find that kind of thing happens from time to time. That's not something that happens regularly, but so it's that kind of effect. Like, we would kind of keep posting on Instagram. Every now and again, something would kind of hit a nerve and go quite popular, and then people go and search for it. So that is part of why I think we've been able to build up a nice platform. We've been able to build up over the years a decent kind of floor to our business because we've driven that traffic in the first place, and it's kind of come in waves and it's built up the sales and stuff. And over time, we've got this, kind of general organic thing that happens to us or whatever. Yeah. But we're not like, it's not like, we put in $1 today and we get back $2 tomorrow or anything like that. It's a lot more nebulous than that. It's rougher than that.
Yeah, and having like thousands and thousands of designs, what do you think is probably the most important aspect at this point? Like really, really great design, or just the fact that you have to come up with ideas or slogans or things like that? What do you think is more important at this point?
I think the design side is designs, I don't want to say design's a commodity because that devalues it a lot, but it is, if someone's on Fiverr selling designs for $1, whatever, and you can get people who can design okay for we pay something like, I think we've got our designers down to about an average of like $10 per design, which is high if you talk to quite a lot of people doing merch.
See, and I think that's about right. I think that's what people should pay.
I'm not even sure there's a right price for design or whatever. I think it depends. It depends on the economics and how you're making everything work. I mean, we can pay a higher price because we get longer use out of our designs, I think, than the average bear, if you like. Now, some people who are doing it short term and they're just looking for the lowest price and stuff, I think, you can do that and you can work for a short time, but in a year's time, when you're going to have designs that you're going to be proud of and you're going to be able to go to a trade show and license to real businesses or whatever, or put on Instagram, maybe not. And, that's where we can pay higher prices, because we know we can get that extra use out of designs because we're not producing crap. We're producing, quality designs that would sell, in a high street store and would sell on Amazon and whatever. So, I lost my train of thought what we were originally talking about. But,
ideas versus design.
Ideas versus design. So yeah, I think the ideas thing is the more valuable of the two, skills to really master, because like for me, for example, I'm not doing the designing. I'm telling people what to design. I'm telling them how to design. So I'm giving them a lot of detail when I commission my designers. I'm not just saying, do a design like this. I'm actually usually telling them, use this font, do it on this color black background shirt, and use these 3 colors, and do it in this style or whatever. So I'm giving them a lot of detail. Mm-hmm. But you can find, if the more detail you give someone, then the lower price you have to pay for the designing, because you're doing half the work for them, really. If I come to a designer and say, I want you to just design me a Halloween shirt, then that gives them a lot more to do. They've got to kind of, do a lot more thinking.
Yeah, so, sure. Right.
The design side is, sorry, go on, George.
Oh, no, go ahead. Please finish.
So, yeah, I was basically going to say, the design side is a lot more controllable, it's a lot more kind of manageable, and the idea side is a lot harder to kind of get your head around and get a strategy together for, like, who are you designing shirts for? Are you going to pick a demographic, or are you going to chase trends, or are you going to try and do scale designs? Or there's so many different approaches, and that's where I think people kind of, I don't know, just kind of lose track of what the goal is here, or they don't know which way to turn, because they're kind of like, well, should I make the shirts I want to make and the kind of designs that I like, or should I chase what's popular right now, or should I try and predict what's going to be popular for Halloween this year, or should I just do 100 engineer shirts or something like that? People get pulled in all these crazy directions. Whereas we've kind of always, even though we've done a bit of everything, we've always relied on what we believe in and what we enjoy doing and what we know best, which is usually kind of pop culture, funny, that kind of stuff, to give it a broad title, if you like. But I think, definitely the idea, if you get the ideas part of your business figured out, and you basically put a stake in the ground and say, we are going to design t-shirts for this community, and that's going to be our big, focus, and we're going to just focus on that, you're going to be in a much better position if you stick with that than the person who's like, I'm going to do this for a week, and then I'm going to go over here, do this for a week, and I'm going to find ideas here and copy ideas from there, or whatever. I think once you get the ideas thing right, then everything else becomes a little easier down the line.
Yeah,
right.
Definitely.
And that makes sense because I'll tell you right now, like a lot of my shirts that I've been selling, they're in just one particular niche, and because that particular niche has been selling, I really branched out and expanded it, right?
Yeah.
And a bunch of those other shirts are selling too. But me, and this is just a personal thing. It's like I know that mindset works. Like I know what you just said works. Expanding on a certain topic and just really expanding on it. But I'm always trying to come up with some crazy shit, crazy ideas, and my mind is just all over the place, right? Like 1 minute I'm thinking about this, and then I'm chasing trends, and then I'm doing holiday things, and it's just, I'm just trying to figure out. I mean, because you're obviously on a very high tier, and you have how many uploads do you have right now? Daily uploads on merch out of 16,000.
500 a day.
So I mean, just for me, I can't even fathom or imagine trying to come up with even half of that, right? Like,
and I couldn't. Like, I mean, even a couple of months ago, that would have seemed crazy. But I think once you push yourself, like even last year, the start of 2017, I was like, okay, this merch thing is working, but in order to really grow it and scale it, I'm going to have to produce a lot more designs. And I was producing maybe like 5 designs a week or something, if that. And then at the start of 2017, I decided, okay, we're going to hire designers, we're going to do this, we're going to scale this, we need to 10x what we're doing, so I need to come up with 50 new designs a week, and that was kind of the bar I set for myself. And it wasn't fun, it was really hard, especially in the early weeks and stuff, to sit down and do that and commission designers with 50 unique designs every single week. It was the hardest part of my week, and I didn't like it at all. But I stuck with it for most of the year, and we grew our account, and it worked. And when I took my foot off the gas is when it kind of slowed down a bit. So I think if you set yourself a certain target and you set yourself a certain goal, you can usually hit it. We're capable of a lot more than we give ourselves credit for, I think. And like at the start of this year, we kind of had the same process again. Instead of going from 5 to 50, now we want to go from 50 to 500 designs a week or something like that. And we've been able to come up with ways to do that. Now, those designs are scaled designs, and that's really the only way I think that you're going to get to those kind of numbers. You can't really sit down realistically and come up with 500 unique ideas every week. So they are scaled, but we've figured out ways to do scaled, smart, and in ways that we think, we can make money off these designs for years to come, basically. So it's not easy again, but it's kind of a challenge. But it's it's possible. It's definitely possible if you apply yourself to the problem.
Glenn, it sounds like we're doing something wrong, dude. We obviously got some issues, man.
I think it's just different. It's different. It's different problems at different levels. Like everyone has different, like if you want to keep growing the thing, it's going to be harder to, maintain that growth at the higher levels than it is at the lower levels. Like if you're in the lower tiers, okay, it sucks, but the chances of you going from $100 a month to $1,000 a month, that's a lot easier than it is to go from, $10,000 a month to $20,000 a month, I think.
Sure.
But I think even before the whole team part, you had already been doing big numbers. Let's say like a year and a half ago, before the team part. So definitely, you'll probably say now more and more people are coming in. Competition's getting harder. Yeah, we have the numbers game, so all this comes into play.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, I was very, very fortunate to get in the early days and made a lot of hay while the sun shines, and that was great. And it's been a slog to keep it. Keep maintaining that. So yeah, it's not, I don't take that for granted at all. It's not like an easy thing, and it's not, I'm not coming here saying, oh, you guys on the lower tiers, you can just get up easy. It's a piece of cake. Like, it's not. It's harder than it was, 2 years ago. No doubt about it. But what are you going to do? That's the lay of the land right now. That's organic platforms for you. They always go in that direction. That's what happened with Google. Everything was easy and fun, and people were just raking it in on Google for a couple of years, and then Google changed the algorithm, and it changed. And then this happened last year with YouTube, right? With the advertiser thing and everything. So it's kind of like, if you've seen it happen before, you can kind of see it coming down the road again. And I don't know what's really happening with merch right now in terms of organic search and stuff, but everything's obviously up in the air. It's changed. Certainly something's changed. And I don't really know what to advise people to do in terms of, is the growth going to be, are we going to get back to the kind of sales figures we were seeing, or is this forever changed, or whatever? I don't really know what to say, except for you should not have all your eggs in one basket, and you never should have had, and you should be thinking now, what would I do if merch, if my merch income halved overnight, or something like that, and trying to, apply yourself to that problem before it happens, because that way you're going to be in a better situation anyway.
Yeah. Well, so let me ask you something. And you mentioned this earlier. First of all, what are you drinking?
I'm like recovering from a cold and stuff. So I've got one glass of water, and I've got one glass of like pineapple coconut smoothie or something,
because
it's supposed to be good for
beer or something.
Anti-inflammatory. No, yeah, that would be nice. I should have done that.
no, but you mentioned this earlier. You were saying that your newly uploaded designs are not selling, and I made a post in the Merch Minds Facebook group a few days ago about that. Do you think that we're still throttled to a certain point?
Honestly, I wish I knew what was going on, because I'm in the same boat as everybody else. I don't know what's happening. I do know that sales are weird. Like, we're selling stuff that hasn't sold for years, and it's almost like we are selling stuff that's just been uploaded. Like, we uploaded designs yesterday that are selling today. But the stuff that we were really doing like daily sales on 2 or 3 months ago is completely halved or dropped or whatever. So it's weird. It's like early stuff seems to be selling that wasn't selling, and everything that was kind of a few months ago has kind of dipped. And there's just no real rhyme or reason to it that I can see. I know that some people are saying there's been algorithm changes with Amazon, and maybe the freshness boost has gone and stuff like that. I think that's probably true. I try not to get myself too into the ins and outs of what's happening daily with Amazon and stuff, because you just lose focus of what your overall goal is. But certainly something has changed, and it's hit our merch sales. We would expect to be doing a lot more than what we're doing currently, and I think it depends what kind of markets you're in and stuff. We do stuff that's not, it's like evergreen, but it's not. It's not like firefighter shirts or anything like that. It's pop culture stuff, so it comes in waves anyway. It's weird, all of a sudden people will be going crazy for a design we did 2 years ago or something, and then it'll be completely dead for 2 months, and then all of a sudden we'll have a massive spike again. So, but it's just that we always seem to maintain that flow. A design over here will go crazy for a month and then die off, and then a completely different design will come up and make up the slack next month or whatever. So yeah, all I know is it's weird. I think we were all hoping that we'd see an end of it, in sooner than later, but it doesn't seem like anything's changed recently. Sales have started to pick up a little bit the past maybe week or so, but it's still not what I would expect, compared to last year or whatever. So
right. Well, I did really good the last couple of weeks selling St. Patty's Day shirts. And now that St. Patty's Day is just a couple of days away. I mean, I'm not even selling any of those, but so my numbers have significantly dropped, which I knew was going to happen. But but who knows? Who knows what's going on? I mean, behind the scenes at Amazon. I guess, like you said, the best thing that we can do is just keep doing our research, keep designing if you're designing your own shirts, and if you're not, just keep outsourcing, and just keep grinding away. But at some point,
I think for a lot of people, especially designers out there, people like me who have got some skills and got something they want to do. And I mean, I was thinking, I always wanted to do a t-shirt business. I remember, before I even finished high school, I was like, the prices and stuff. Yeah. So it's always been something I wanted to do. So in some ways, merch is great, but it's also a distraction away from maybe what you should be doing, which is building that actual clothing brand or that platform or whatever, your own thing. And it's so easy when someone comes and dangles a big check or whatever to get distracted and go, I'm going to chase that. I'm going to go make t-shirts for gardening middle-aged women or something for a few months or whatever, when you should be back over here, building your Instagram, learning how to advertise, learning, just making sales regularly, even if it's not as much profit as merch is, it's still, long term, if you're building a brand that people connect with and that people like and that, you're getting regular sales from, well, that's a real business. That's something you control, especially if you can crack the advertising thing as well. That's now, that's something solid you can rely on. That's the part that I really enjoy, is when we've really hit the numbers on our Shopify store and stuff, because that, I can see a path for that to be a proper business. Whereas with merch, merch alone is not a business. Merch is a channel, it's an income channel, and it's not.
Oh, see,
Yeah, no, it's just not it's a crazy big. It's like having a niche site on like an Amazon affiliate site on Google or something 3 years ago. You could be making crazy silly money, but where else are you going to make that money from? That site only makes money on Google. Some of these t-shirts only make money on Amazon, and they're only ever going to make money on Amazon. So unless you've got t-shirts that can make money somewhere else, or designs that you can repurpose somewhere else, I think there's limited, longevity, there's limited upside for some of the stuff that people are doing and focusing on right now. And designers particularly should be able to go and take those skills and build something up better. And it's hard, especially because people look around, it's like, the t-shirt market's saturated. You go on Instagram, all you see is ads for t-shirts. You go on Facebook, all you see is ads for t-shirts. So it can be like, well, how do you start? What do you do? But I still think that's still a much better use of people's time sometimes than trying to create a 1300th version of a dabbing leprechaun or whatever.
Well, I'm sick and tired of those damn shirts. Dabbing leprechauns, dabbing unicorns, and dabbing dogs. I'm sick of those. But no, man, those are great tips, great advice. I mean, that's something that we can all, even myself and Glenn, I'm sure, that we can all take from what you just said and put them to action. But yeah, great advice. Hey, you've been really quiet lately. I know. Usually I would see you in the groups and stuff like that. I don't even see you put out your income report anymore, really.
No, I do need to get that fourth quarter report for last year. But yeah, I've been basically I was doing a blog for like a couple of years, maybe not even that, maybe a year and a half or something. But I started a private group. And when I put out my books and stuff, so I started a private group, and from that I've been teaching. Basically, the past 5 months, I've done a course which is completely private. We've not launched it to the public or anything. So I've been focusing on that, and it's been honestly just taking up a ton of time, because I've been teaching in a class twice a week, trying to get I don't know if you've ever kind of sat down and tried to write like a curriculum and teach something, but it's incredibly hard if you've never done it before. So it took me forever to just kind of crack it, and but I'm just kind of wrapping that up now. So hopefully, I think you'll see a bit more of me around. I mean, I like doing, anytime anyone invites me to something, I'm quite open to do that and stuff. But I don't know. It's hard to run a business and at the same time, be in Facebook every day and keeping an eye on everything. It's just like, whoa, there's so much to do,
Yeah, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right.
But work with and help and really scale their businesses and help them in whatever thing they need help with. So that's kind of been my focus for the past 5 months, really.
Yeah, no, but absolutely. I mean, Michael does put out really good income reports when he was doing them. I mean, your income report was really detailed. Like he would have graphs and stuff like that. I do a monthly income report, and I don't even do all that. I'm just like, I just don't like to do all that math. But I
find it quite interesting to drill down and figure out, okay, what did we make this month, where did it come from and stuff. But
no, you definitely have to break it down.
Yeah, but writing a blog, it's just like, I don't know, you guys have written blogs and stuff, right? It's just like it's a slog, right? It's really.
Yeah. Well, it's just
why am I writing this blog for again? Why do I have to write another?
Well, I think it's just, and I think I speak for all of us, right? I mean, we're just all busy, right? I mean, you're obviously teaching, and then you're managing a team. You know, Glenn, he's wearing bumblebee outfits, dancing around, and doing his YouTube channel, and so we're all busy.
You got to focus on what you're good at, and where you see the benefit. Long term as well, which is why, I mean, the blog was never like a real. It was just kind of a way for me to start writing because I wanted to kind of develop my writing skills and stuff because I really haven't written for forever. So it was a way to start doing that and to just kind of help people and stuff. And it was fun and stuff, but it's also kind of hard work. So it's good to kind of put all that blog, goodwill and stuff into something that actually kind of helps people really. And, you get a lot of people asking for freebies and stuff on the internet, as you guys know, just people looking for handouts and stuff. And it's nice to help people. When you can really help someone and take their earnings up and you can find out what they need help with and then, apply. Like, I know you guys do something like this, right? Or you do like a coaching program or something?
We do coaching, and we rather keep it that way because like some people are gonna argue, right? Oh, you guys are internet marketers, you're just taking people's money. But first of all, you have to ask yourself, like, what is your time worth, right?
Exactly.
Right, and then second of all, like I'd rather keep it that way because then you're holding themselves accountable, right? Look, I paid for this guidance, I paid for this course, whatever. If I fail, I have no one else to blame except for myself because I didn't follow through. If you're the one that's going to bitch about paid content, well, do your own thing, But me, I'm all, and I've said this 1,000 times. I'm all about paid content. I'll buy products and services if it's going to help me. I'll probably promote the hell out of it. And if it doesn't work, I'll never talk about it again.
Yeah. I mean, look, like I said earlier, like there's people who do merch for the fun of it, right? But I think that's probably like 5% of the people, if that. Like most of us are here because we want to make some money.
We want to make some money, yeah.
We want to make some money. That's what it's about. Like it's a living, right? So, for people to come and say, well, you guys are charging for something or whatever, like, well, what are you doing on merch in the first place if you're not trying to make money? Like, why hate on someone who's trying to make money? You're doing it for the same thing. People say you can find everything you need to learn about merch online, for free. Like, you can, absolutely.
Yep.
You can. Now, it's going to take you a while, maybe, and it's going to take you a lot of hurdles. You're going to have to jump over a lot of stuff and make mistakes that other people have made before, and you're not going to have the helping hand and stuff. But yeah, you can absolutely do that. And the people who are going to be really successful will probably get there, with that anyway, eventually. But for a lot of us, and I'm with you completely, that I would rather pay. I've paid big. I bought every merch course out there, and I bought them all as soon as they came out because I was like, I want to get every bit of information I can about this thing because I can see it's a great opportunity. It's already working for me. I don't want to miss something that somebody else is doing. I want to try and hit every strategy. Right. I don't want to miss anything. So I bought everyone's course. And, and I'm quite happy to pay, money for courses because
and you can always learn from anyone, regardless of what tier they're on, and it's just and that's the power of again networking and things like that.
I heard the guy just done the same. Just finishing off the thought, but one guy, I sell a book on my website. It's like a collection of the emails I wrote for like a year, and then like all my blog posts and stuff, and kind of all updated, and it's stuff that people can't find anywhere else. Anyway, I sell this book, and I think if you sign up on my site, it's like, I think I offer it for like $15 or something, because you just signed up or whatever. So some guy emailed me and said, I got the book, but I didn't learn anything new, so can I have a refund? Which is fine. I offer a refund, that's fine. But if you pay $15 for a book that's got like 40,000 words in it and you don't learn anything new, like I'll give you your money back because you're beyond help. In my opinion.
Right.
And if you can't learn something from something like that, like you can't learn. You're not a teachable person. And I think that's. I don't want to take anyone's money who I can't help. That's not.
I don't. Yeah, no, I'm the same way. I wrote my typography book, and overall the response has been really good. I had two people complain. One guy said, "Oh, I can just learn this stuff on my own online." Fine, take the money. And the other guy complained, and one guy was saying, "Oh, it was too short of a read." But I'm like, but design isn't something that you read about, right? It's a visual topic.
Oh, yeah.
So I had a lot of graphics and stuff like that, and apparently he wanted more words. I'm like, you're never gonna find that in the design community, man. You're gonna learn from.
You always get that, but
it is what it is. Whatever. But hey, great show, great guest. Thank you for being here. Guys, go check out Michael Essek's website. Go ahead and give yourself a plug. Where can people find you?
Oh, yeah. The blog has not been updated for ages, but michaelessek.com is my website. You can buy my books on there. I've got a couple of books out. But yeah, I don't really have anything to plug. I'm not plugging anything. I do have the course, but I'm not selling it. So, it's a private thing that I'm not really offering just yet to anyone. So the doors are closed on that. But yeah, you guys can follow me on Facebook and Twitter and all that kind of stuff. And if it's been helpful to you, then you can pick up one of the books or whatever. And I hope people get some value from the blog and stuff like that. Yeah.
Nice. I got one last question before we go because having the graphic designer here.
Yes.
What are some of the mistakes merch sellers tend to make when it comes to design?
It's a big one. I think the first thing that popped into my head was that people pick too many colours for their shirts, and they just pick bad colours for their shirts. Like, I would rather pick one colour for my shirt than three, and two of them be kind of slightly off. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't look that great on that shirt. So that's one thing I see a lot is like shirts that just look ugly, because the design is on the bad background color or whatever. People, especially when you're really beginning and you've never done design before, people just don't design. They make this mistake, which is they don't design T-shirts. They just design like graphics. Like, it's a graphic that could be on a postcard just as soon as it could be on a T-shirt. Like, it's not a T-shirt design. Like, once you've been in the game for a while, you start to think about, the position of artwork, like the chest of the T-shirt and, the shape of everything and all that kind of stuff. And you limit your color usage. I see people use too many colors. Like, I've come from a background of like designing for screen print, where the fewer colors you use, the better, because then it's going to be cheaper to produce, and there's a reason for that. But also because of the nature of screen printing, it has to be limited number of colors anyway. And I think that produces the best looking T-shirts. Like, if your T-shirt is a black T-shirt with red and white, and it's a nice design, like, that's an attractive T-shirt, for example. Whereas if you've got a black T-shirt and you've got a full color print of like 16 different colors going on and stuff, it's going to be, I think, not that attractive. I'm not saying they don't sell, like they do, but if you're building a brand and you're building a clothing company or whatever, like, you go on, I don't know, whatever, your favorite streetwear brand or whatever, the Hundreds, or I don't know, something like that, or Johnny Cupcakes or whatever.
Oh, the Hundreds, yeah.
Those see like 2 or 3 colors, that's it. Those are how they design most of their shirts. Like, that's just what nice shirts look like. So, of course, like, merch is we talk about merch like it's like one thing, but it's really just, I think I talk about this in one of my books, it's like a printer. It's just like a printer behind the scenes that prints T-shirts. Like, you can put whatever you like on it. Like, you can design T-shirts for your family gathering, or you can design T-shirts for Obama, or you can design T-shirts for super high level fashion thing and sell them for $50. Like, it's just a printer that prints whatever you want to put on it. You can use them to deliver whatever design you want to the customers, assuming the customers are going to be finding it on merch anyway or whatever. So I think that's a mistake people make, is they say, well, what kind of design should I do? Should I do text only or graphic only, or should I use this color or that color? Like, if you're a teenage girl who's a goth looking for a Halloween t-shirt, like, that's a completely different market from the teenage girl who's looking for something cute for her 5-year-old kid brother or whatever. Like, the color things and the fonts and everything is completely different. So knowing your market, understanding what works for that market, that's what a lot of people kind of mess up on. They're asking the wrong questions, I guess you could say.
Yeah, great. No, that's a great response. But Michael, thank you for being here. I know you were out here last September. Any plans on coming back to the U.S.?
I'm in Florida next week, from Tuesday to Sunday, I think. So
okay, cool.
It'll be nice, get a bit of sunshine, because it's been like the eternal winter over here. We had that beast from the east storm like a week or two ago over here, so it's been pretty miserable. But I'm not really doing anything. I'm just kind of there for a conference and stuff, and then coming back home. But hopefully later in the year, we are expecting our second child this year, so that might put...
Oh, congratulations! Oh, man, that's awesome.
Thank you.
Awesome. So, well, you know what? I'm sure once the second one comes, you'll be really busy. Maybe it's only right that Glen and I go visit you in the UK at some point.
Yeah, absolutely. It's about time you guys came over, I think.
It is. You know what? I've been trying to convince this guy to travel internationally for some time now. So we'll make that happen.
Yeah, we can come and watch some soccer, you guys call it, I think.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it'd be fun. Let's do it.
All right, let's make it happen. But thank you, sir, for being here. We really do appreciate your time, and would love to have you back on. Maybe after the baby's born, you can come back and you can introduce the baby to us.
Absolutely, yeah. We can do some baby shows.
Right. Great.
Okay.
Thanks, Michael.
Thank you guys for having me. Thank you, guys. See you later.
Excellent interview. Just an awesome guy, man. He definitely had a lot of nuggets to share. What you think?
Oh yeah, I mean, we already knew going into it. Just an awesome guy. He was going to provide value because we've seen his reports, we've met him in person. He knows his design stuff, so we already knew. Like you said, it was long overdue because we were meant to have him a long time ago.
Yeah, we had asked him back in September. We're like, hey, we need to get you on the show, but the problem is, man, we have people approach us at the last minute. Hey, I want to be on the show, or something happens. And anyway, the point is, we finally had him on the show. A great guest. Let me ask you something, man. Do you think you could ever have your business run like the way he's doing? Because he said he's no longer designing.
Yeah.
Like, would you be able to run your merch account to the point where you're no longer designing, or would you have to design even at least like a portion of the shirts?
I mean, I would still want to design a portion, but I think that's equally as hard work as just doing the designs yourself and uploading, just like the way me and you are doing now. Mm-hmm. I think that's just as hard or even harder to maintain several people. I mean, we're talking about...
Yeah, and we had talked about that, right? Like managing the team.
Yeah, that's tough. That's tough work right there, even though he's not doing the designs necessarily, all of them anymore, but having, the two people that are listing and then 2 or 3 designers, I mean, that's big time right there. I'd rather just do what I'm doing right, because I like what I'm doing. I mean, if I really didn't like it, I think I'd go a different way, but I like what I'm doing right now.
I'm right there with you. Like, even though I'm outsourcing a bunch of my designs, I would still have to at least design a portion of my designs. Mm-hmm. Obviously, I've said this 1,000 times by now. I cannot give my account to someone else, to give access to someone to upload my designs. That's something that I need to be in charge of. But yeah, I mean, I like the way that I'm doing it now. I'm slowly starting to scale. Penji's been working out really good for me, so I'm happy.
Yeah, there you go. I think it's a good, solid show.
Yeah, good solid show. Thank you again, Michael, for being here. We'd love to have you back. Let's see. Other than that, man, hey, I got a bunch of things I gotta do before I leave town tomorrow. So let's wrap it up. Where can people find you?
Here, Hustler Hacks on YouTube and hustlerhacks.com. You can email me hustlerhacks1@gmail.com.
All right, and you know what? Just tag me on Facebook, okay? just tag me on Facebook. Cool. Well, guys, have a great week, and we'll check in with you guys next week.
See ya.